Hi everyone, my name is Ongtit and I welcome all of you in my channel with me engineering. So today the topic which we will be discussing is equilibrium of bodies. Alright, now let us understand what does this word equilibrium means. So equilibrium is the word equilibrium is defined as it's the definition is uh, it's a state of change, or you can also say that it's a state of or a condition of change. All right, so fine. uh, Equilibrium, okay, equilibrium of body means, so the word equilibrium means it's a state of balance. The word equilibrium means that it's a state of balance. Okay, so fine. The equilibrium of a body means that it's a state of a balance of a body, or a condition of a balance of a body. That is a that is the meaning of equilibrium of a body. So now, all right, now let us write a definition of the equilibrium of a body. So the statement says a body is said to be in equilibrium if its state, number one, that is if its state, that is a rest, and other one is the uniform motion, is not changed or disturbed. Okay, so this is a statement of the equilibrium of a body. Now, so this means that now if anybody, let us say if a body, this is an object, and this is at rest. So now statement says a body is said to be in equilibrium if its state of rest. Now if any object or a body is at rest and it is not changed, then this body is said to be attained a state of equilibrium, or It's a state of uniform motion. That is, if a body is in a uniform motion in a straight line and it is not changed or disturbed, then this body is called to be attend a state of a equilibrium. So this is a basic idea, or this is one of the basic concept of the equilibrium of a body. And this equilibrium of a body, the definition or the statement which you say here, it is followed in every other conditions. Okay, so this is one of the basic concept of the equilibrium of a body. Now next we will discuss about the what are the conditions which is required for a body to attain the state of a equilibrium. So now we'll see that in a detail. One more concept on the equilibrium of a body is that when the body is at rest, then this state of equilibrium is called static equilibrium. That is a static equilibrium, and uniform motion is called as dynamic equilibrium. You can say that if any body is at rest and attaining a state of equilibrium, we call that as a static equilibrium. And if any body is tend to be attending a state of equilibrium, then when it is in a uniform motion in a straight line, then that is called as a dynamic equilibrium. And this state of dynamic equilibrium is also further, actually it's also one say that it's a dynamic means it's a changing, right? So this is a changing of a motion. So this is a basic concept on the equilibrium of a body. So all of this is governed by Newton first law. What does the Newton first law says? That until and unless if any body is exerted an external force or an external medium to deviate or to change the state of rest or a uniform motion, right? So Newton first law actually defines the state of a equilibrium. So this is actually the whole concept is governed by the Newton's first law. Now let us discuss about the conditions of the equilibrium. There are two conditions to fulfill for a body to attain a state of a equilibrium. So the number one is net force acting on the object must be zero. That is, F net is equals to 0. Now the second condition is net torque on the object must be 0. That is, which is torque is always denoted by tau, and tau net is equals to 0. So these two conditions must be fulfilled to attain for a body to attain a state of a equilibrium. Now let us see what does this net force on the object must be 0, that is F net is equals to 0. What does this mean? Now let us see this. It says that the force acting along each axis of motion must sum to 0. It means that the force along x-axis, that is f of x, should equals to 0, and force along y-axis, that is Fy, should also be 0. So it means that force acting along each axis of motion, in axis of motion means in x-axis and in y-axis. So this two axis of motion must be 0. Then F of net will be ultimately 0. So now the first condition is attend. It's the first condition has been proved. So if F net is 0, then the body can attend the state of equilibrium. But there is also one other condition, that is the net torque, that is tau net should also be 0. So the net torque, that is tau net, is equal, should be equals to 0. Now let us see how does this is achieved. So tau net or tau, the formula for the torque is radius multiplied by the product of its force and sine of theta. So this theta is the angle through which the body is being moved. So in order to achieve the torque requires two forces opposite to each other at some angle, that is sine theta. Okay, so this is the sine theta, how much the angle is required for the torque. Now let us see how the tau net is being achieved. So when clockwise torque is equal to anti-clockwise torque, then tau net shall be equals to 0. Okay, it means that if any object now you see, if both of this force F1 and this F2 tends this body to rotate in a clockwise direction, and in this clockwise direction and another body, this will tend the body to move in an anti-clockwise direction. So if these two are equal, then the net torque, that is tau net, shall be 0. So this is how the equilibrium of a body is attained. So I hope you like this video and the concept of equilibrium body is more clear to you. So thank you very much, and hope do not forget to like and comment what you don't understand, what is much not clear to you. If any topics that you want to understand, then please comment onto the comment box and subscribe to my channel with me engineering. Thank you.